Yo YouTube! This is my video for Friday the 20th of December. I'm about 5 minutes away from my first pickup point in Peterborough, and I've got a job going two stops, one to Holbeach and one to Huntingdon. £75 for 64 miles loaded, and I was about 23 miles away from the pickup in the morning. I left the house at about 7:15 to arrive on site at 8 o'clock. It's a long wheelbase van job, and it gets me started early with a bit of money in the bank, and then I'll be probably in the Huntingdon area, I'm guessing, about 10 o'clock roughly, and we'll see what happens for today. I'm guessing it's going to be quite busy today because it's Friday before the end of the last Friday working for the year. So I imagine it's going to be very busy. I just need to make sure I maximise my day on the road. So I'm okay with this job because I had an early start. That's what I really wanted today, is have an early start. The job itself is all right. It's a smallish job, but it should be reasonably easy to do. When I look through my screen at the moment with this video recording, it looks much brighter than through my windscreen. So I'm interested in how this looks on video. It's quite dark at the moment in real life, but in the internet world, obviously, it's a bit brighter. If only that was the case in real internet world. Right, see you later. Farewell. Right, I'm just trundling through the countryside, and behind this lorry, in front of this caravan, and I thought, well, let's go through some nice countryside, so I'll show you what's going on and reflect on a few thoughts that I've had. You can hopefully see to the left and right of me this road there's flooding, but it's sort of designed to flood. These are usually fields, but they are definitely set aside for allowing the river to overflow its banks at this point. And it makes a really nice, particularly this time of year, a really nice outlook. I probably would like to stop and show you, but I think you get some idea from this that it's a really nice environment for birds and wildlife. They're usually fields, but they're not really used for anything else other than this sort of thing. There's some swans to my left, just 4 or 5 swans swimming on the field, effectively. Anyway, I'm on my way to my drop-off. I'm about 20 minutes away from my second drop-off of the job. The first drop-off was Holbeach. When I got there, it was a school being done up. Obviously, they have closed for the Christmas holidays, so there were loads of different trades on site. I had to wait for a bit because I didn't have a number to call, but the caretaker went in and found the right people, and they came out and they got the stuff. So that was a bit of delay, but not too much. And now I'm going to Huntingdon to do my second drop-off of the trip. I am going to be finished just before 10 o'clock, hopefully. About what I thought I was going to be. And I was looking at other jobs. A lot of the jobs that are currently on the CX are heading southwards, and I'd rather not go any closer to London than today if I can help it. So a couple of jobs going to Norfolk, which I might do at a high price. But the main thing I was going to say at this point is the shipper that's given me this job has put it on as 2 stops, which is fine. And I did the stops in the order that they want me to do them in. I asked at the pickup point, do they care which order I do it in, and they had no preference either way. But I thought I'd just go with what I've been told to do, and it was fine. I'm not having an issue with that. But the issue I've got is that when I went to my first stop and then got the guy to sign the delivery, the proof of delivery, I realised after having done it that there was only one pod signing stop. It looked like there were 2 stops sort of properly put on, but they've just put them on. They haven't put on, it's hard to explain, but they should be able to, and you can put on a stop 1 where you get the person to sign as a proof of delivery, and then you go to stop 2 and they sign for delivery stop 2. But in this case, when I did the first one, that was then the end of the job. It was then going to invoicing. So I've had to sort of pause finishing this job while I travel to Huntingdon. I'll then get them to sign my paperwork. I'll take a photo of it, put it on as a photo, and then I'll then create the invoice. But it's just a little thing that I think, oh well, this is just poor training. And to be fair, I don't expect anything else from this shipper. They're not a great shipper, to be honest. They are, and the people that work for them are reasonably okay, but they're not greatly knowledgeable about what's going on. They do always want the cheapest, and they don't necessarily offer a great amount of information. When I called them yesterday and said, can I do it in a different order, because I thought it looked like it might be a bit quicker to do it the other way around, the guy just said no, the customer's asked to do this order. He didn't even bother trying to ring them to check with them. And that's kind of what I would say is being quite lazy and quite not really caring less. So the route the other way around was slightly quicker, only by 5 minutes, but it was a bit quicker to do it Huntingdon then Spalding, Huntingdon then Holbeach. But the guy that I spoke to had no thought about checking with the shipper, checking with the customer, but whether they had a preference or not. So it's that kind of attitude that I find it's a bit irritating, isn't it? That they don't really care about what they're doing. But it is what it is, isn't it? Something like that. When I picked up the load from the supplier at the start, this was in Peterborough. The guys there were organised. They knew to expect me. They put the stuff on my van. We had a bit of a chat. They were very friendly. They asked me. They said, "Have a good Christmas." And I just thought, when I left there, I thought that was so easy. It was just really easy because they knew what they were doing. I knew what I was doing. We were polite to each other. And then all I'm doing is I'm delivering some stuff to one location and then some other stuff to a separate location. It is not a difficult thing to achieve. It's not a difficult job. So I was thinking, what makes the job difficult then? And I came to the conclusion that the thing that I think that makes this job difficult is people that don't have a professional approach to their work. People that don't know what they're doing, people that don't care about what they're doing, people that don't have a customer service sort of ethos, people that aren't trained properly, people that want to undercut other people because they're greedy, people that just are rude or unhappy. And all of those things, I think, comes down to a state of mind. I'm guessing that over time, the industry has sort of gradually edged towards people that are like that. Not everyone by any means is like that, but it's hard to make money if you are polite, professional, deliberate, kind, compared to someone who's going to be dishonest and lie to you or tell you not the truth. And I think there's a kind of there's a force that kind of edges us when we do a job like this. Any sort of capitalist type system, if it's focused purely on efficiency and cost to the detriment of service and quality, then you're always sort of fighting uphill if you have a certain amount of ethics or standards when you're doing a job, because someone will always be there that will undercut you, and unless your customers value honesty and ethics enough to pay a bit more, there's always that race to the bottom, isn't there? Like, what's the cheapest? And I think that's what I see in logistics. Now, I haven't been in logistics very long, and I'm not saying it's just logistics. I see it in society throughout. I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but I just see that it's a realistic thing. Those people that want to be dishonest, that want to deliberately kind of co-load or undercut or not get insured, they have a competitive advantage, don't they, in a capitalist system. And the only bulwark to that is people actually respecting and wanting honesty and professionalism. I'm saying professionalism in a summary. And if you value cheapness over those qualities, whether you're a driver or a shipper or a customer, then you are going to get a situation where over a long period of time, those people that cut the corners get the money. So it's beholden, I think, on all of us to just understand what we're paying for. This is not just logistics, it's in all aspects of our life. And it's easy for me to say that, isn't it? Because I don't know, maybe I sound old-fashioned, but in this respect, I want to be old-fashioned. I don't want to change with it. And obviously, when I think about this logically, my parents' generation would have had the same feelings. Their parents would have the same feelings. The society is getting too quick for them or too dishonest. So it's an ongoing sort of cycle of reduction in standards. And although technology brings along with it lots of improvements that are positive, we shouldn't forget that we're people at the end of the day, and we're dealing with other people. And that's, I think, all of us, whether we're offering a service or whether we're using a service. Hopefully you agree with me, that's a lovely sight in terms of countryside. We've got the sun in the sky quite low down, all these fields either side of me. And I'll leave this on for a little bit longer just to see. This is the kind of countryside I live in. It's flat. It's it's flat. That's all I can say. It's beautiful and it's flat. It's different to hilly areas, but it's definitely something that I appreciate. Particularly the best sight in this area is when it's misty. You have mist over the fields and the sun shining on that. That's the time when I think, that's a lovely place to be in. Right, I am 10 minutes away from my last drop off, and then I'm debating as to whether I go with short local journeys, which I'm not necessarily sure will work, but they might do on a busy day like today, or whether I go for something long and just try and get like a good price for one long job and then see how it goes getting back. This is my last day working of the year, so I kind of want to make the most of it, but also I kind of want to bring the year to a close work-wise, because it's been quite difficult, and I think this is let me just finish off with one last thing. So this year, I think for me has been very difficult work-wise, mainly because of my health, and I have to appreciate, I might look back on this year as being, that was a brilliant year because I was still working, and it might be the best year I have moving forward. So I can't wish it away, but I do hope I get better in the future rather than worse. And at the moment, there's an unknown element to my health. I have plans, I have options, I suppose, but I do feel it's difficult health-wise to carry on working quite so hard. Anyway, let's keep going. Just keep swimming. Right, hello there. I've got an update for you. So I offloaded my second load. It actually was Ramsey, not Huntingdon, and Ramsey sort of on the Fenland side of Huntingdon. So it's not very far from Chatteris, Peterborough, rather than towards St Ives and Cambridge. And our job came up going from Wisbeach to Clitheroe, which is a BB7 postcode. And I bid on that because it was taking me away from being sucked into the southeast. And I may have underbid slightly, but I'm happy with what I got in the end. So the loaded miles was 176 loaded miles for a medium wheelbase van. Although I'm taking 3 pallets, So thinking about it, I think that's more of a long wheelbase van. I'm taking 3 out of 5 pallets. So there's a second van going to be there as well. So I bid 195 because I thought 200 is what I'd bid, but just to sort of give myself a better chance of getting the job, take off a fiver, and then that will combine with my job from this morning, which is 75, to give me 270, which I thought was not a bad start to my day, as it were. I'm about 45 minutes away from Wisbech. It's about 24 dead miles to get to the pickup. But I'm happy with that. I think I'm going to be on the road, having been loaded, around about 11 o'clock. So if we say 3.5 hours to get across the country to the northwest, then I should have plenty of time to get a third job, which would be just bonus money really for today. The third job would really be diesel money, getting me somewhere near home. And if I get myself within a couple of hours of home, then that'll be my last job of the day. So probably I would think about getting a job to London, because that's a lovely long journey, and I'll get quite a lot of money for that. But we'll see. I'm not going to assume anything. I'm just going to take this one job at a time, and today is going to be, I think, a good day, which would be a nice round off to me here. Right, so yeah, I've done this video on this road with the dike to my right, and you can see some more Fenland countryside. Unfortunately that lorry is in my way. Going at 35 miles an hour along this road, and it's a 50 mile an hour road, but I'm quite happy. I'm just tootling along behind this lorry, talking to my YouTube community with the sun shining to my right. Okay, I'll let you know how the rest of my day goes as it unfolds. Okie dokie, so the time now is 5 to 11. I was loaded up with 3 pallets pretty quickly, and now I'm on my way to Clitheroe. It says on my Google Maps 181 miles, 180, so I've been driving about 2 miles, 183 miles, and it's about 4.25 hours, although my Google Maps is orange. So although this bit of road is fine, there's a bit of congestion just before Newark on the A1. There's a bit of congestion just before, as always, just before Pontefract on the A1. So I'm hoping that by the time I get to those places, it will have calmed down a bit. My ETA is, well, when I started this video, it was 3:15. It's now 2:55. Something's changed suddenly to mean it's going to be easy to get there. So I'm not going to rely on that being that accurate. So I'm going to assume 3:30 at the earliest. I'll be up there, which doesn't give me a lot of time. I didn't really know where Clitheroe was until I looked at the map. It's basically close to Preston, which is quite high up. So I don't know what the work will be like in that area, or how many drivers there'll be. At the moment the weather is brilliant, so hopefully it will stay this way all the way up. And my quandary is going to be, what do I do when I've offloaded this load and I'm in Clitheroe? I mean, hopefully it's gone down now to 10 to 3, my ETA. Hopefully it's more like 3 o'clock that I get offloaded. That'd be brilliant. That half an hour, I think, could make a big difference to my day. But I'm going to have to think about what to do. I might need to just drive down towards Manchester or stay near Preston. I don't need a lot of money. I probably just need 70 quid, and that'll give me a nice paying day to get home. So it's not about really finding a great paying job, it's just paying any job that gets me closer to home rather than further away from home. So I'm still optimistic at the moment, but by the time I've uploaded this, it's going to be dark. It's going to be 3:30, and things could be very different in 4 hours' time. I've just come off the M62, having come up the A1, then gone across the Pennines. I'm now going to join the M66, heading north from Manchester. And the weather's turned, and my ETA has actually got quite good. So it's currently 40 minutes from where I am now. There's no more traffic issues that I'm aware of, according to Google Maps. And I should be on site just before 3 o'clock. And the impressive thing about that is that I have stopped and got fuel and some food and used the toilet on the way up. I used the Blythe services for that. So I've made really good time. All of the delays were minor on the way up, and quite soon after my last video, my ETA went from sort of 3:15 to 2:30, and then I stopped for Blythe, which made it more like 3 o'clock. So hopefully that gives me a couple of hours to either move to a better location or find a job. So I'll let you know. It will be dark probably by the time I get there, or getting there at least, but we'll see what happens. Cheers. Hello there. So I've just finally got offloaded at I want to say Clitheroe. Is that where I'm going? Where I was? Let's have a look. Yeah, Clitheroe. I arrived on site at about 3 o'clock-ish, and I've just come off and got another job, and it's 3:35. I probably was off site at 3:25, and the forklift driver and the warehouse staff generally that I came across, they were either depressed, incompetent, new to their job, or just taking the piss about how fast they were working, or even all four of those, who knows. But they were just really surly and really slow and really didn't really say anything to me or smile or anything. So I don't know what's going on with them, but I'm glad I'm off site now. But I managed to get a job. By the time I came off site, just parked up, by the time I'd cancelled all the jobs for next week that were on my feed and all the jobs that were from my home area, I was definitely choice of 2 jobs to bid on. And one was going from Blackburn to Manchester, M8, so North Manchester. And that was, I think it was a long wheelbase job. I put £50 on for about 29 miles loaded. But I then looked at the shipper, and they're one of these shippers whose terms are 45 days, end of month. And I never like working for those if I can help it. They also had a couple of negative reviews, so that put me off taking that job if I was offered it. But it was quick. It was like an hour and 10 minutes to do that, to get from where I was to the pickup and then do the job. Travelling time was an hour and 10 minutes. I was about 20 minutes away from the pickup point. And the second job was someone I worked for before, going from Skipton to east of Leeds. It was a 2-hour 10 journey in total, so it's half an hour to get to the pickup, and a slightly longer journey across the country. But I suppose, to be fair, that takes me a bit closer to home. I got £60 for it, for 49 miles loaded, and I'm 17 miles away from the pickup. That was also a long wheelbase van job, so I think in the end I got the better of the jobs. And I've done a quick calculation as to where I sit with my net earnings today. And if I get nothing else, just dead mine at home, I should be close to £250 net, 250, which I would be happy with. There is obviously an opportunity to get further work when I'm offloading leads. It'll be about 5:30, sort of 5:45. But I'm going to assume that this is my last job of the day, and I'm going to assume that I then just trundle home. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get home from there. So that would be fine. I think that'll be fine. But we'll look out for work. I'm just mindful that there's probably a limited amount of opportunities come 5:30, and the opportunities that are going to take me nearer to home rather than further away will be even less. So I'm being realistic. It's more than likely to be my last job of the day. In fact, my last job of the year. Hello there. So I've just offloaded my couple of pallets. It's not really Leeds, it's sort of east of Leeds. I'm just about to join the A1 going back down south, very close to it. So I'm sort of the other side of the A1 from Leeds. And I must say that the guys at Skipton were very friendly. The guy who helped me here was very friendly. So compared to let's go with C, I can't remember now, near Preston, that experience, they were very surly is the word I'm thinking of, very miserable people. It's a shame. They were not in the Christmas spirit, let's put it that way. But everyone else today has been great on the road. It's been a good day, I think. I've got some stats for you for today and for the week. My average fuel price this week has gone up a bit because I filled up with fuel again today, and that is 14.52 pence per mile. My total mileage for today, from door to door, is £457, 457. I will have worked for 12 3/4 hours today, and I will have driven made a total of £330 from 3 CX jobs, 330. I've spent £66 and 36 pence on fuel, which means that I've made, after fuel, my net earnings today are £264, 264. So I'm happy with that. Here is my weekly summary, again based on 3 days working. My total amount of hours worked this week is 36 1/4 hours. My total mileage driven from leaving the house on Monday to getting home tonight is 1,351 miles, 1351. My gross weekly earnings are £815, 815. My total fuel expenditure this week is £194 and 32 pence, so effectively 194, which means that my net earnings for the week, for the 3 days after fuel are taken into account, are £621, 621. My average amount of money earned per mile driven all week is 45.94 pence. That's door to door after taking into account fuel costs. And my average amount earned net per day this week is £206 and 89 pence. So effectively £207. And just for comparison purposes, taking off fuel and fixed business costs, my average hourly rate this week was £10.50. Okie dokie, so I hope that you are going to have a great Christmas and New Year. Thank you for listening to my video, and I plan to be back at work probably, if not Friday the 3rd, it'll be the following Monday, so Monday the 6th, or thereabouts anyway. Farewell, friends.